Demi, that was dope. Thank you for sharing. So we're gonna move this on to the next performer, Thomas Costa. Where you at, Thomas? Yeah, round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank
Costanzo. Anyway, this is my fourth time doing this, and I'm actually, one of my inspirations for this was my ex-girlfriend, JoAnn Richi, and she died on January the 3rd, 2024. And I was feeling real depressed today, just thinking about her. The whole situation around her death has really kind of messed me up. We haven't had an obituary yet. I haven't seen we haven't had a celebration of life, and I'm like, what is going on here? I'm just feeling this big empty feeling in myself, and it's just been really challenging for me. I've been doing some work with my naturopath though. She's the one who got me onto ayahuasca, and that's really made a big change in my life. And I've been doing some ketamine massages with the gentleman that works at her clinic, and that's really cool because it just like the ketamine just kind of lays you out, and it's a 2.5 hour massage. And this guy, I'm telling you, is the best masseuse I've ever had in my life, and no happy endings either. But I don't need that. Anyway, so. I was feeling depressed, so I was like, okay, I gotta go down. It was tonight. I've been taking dance classes over at SEC, doing the salsa and bachata. So I'm really enjoying that, helping me get out of my shell. I just feel like I've been a little bit socially inept for a long time, and this is one of my ways of, getting out of that. This is my fourth time doing this, so I know I'm terrible, but when you're bad, there's only one way to go. That's all, right? and one who advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life that she has imagined will meet with success, unexpected in the common hours. That's Emerson Thoreau. So I memorized that. So I like repeating that because I like positive statements that inspire me to greatness. The solution to any problem can never come from the same level of consciousness that created in the first place. That's where we're at in our world, and we've got all these problems, and we're using the same stupid mechanisms to solve them. And we need to grow up. We got this fucking criminal that's trying to get back into the White House. I can't believe that we actually need the Supreme Court to decide whether a president is immune from criminal prosecution. Really? You gotta go to the Supreme Court to figure this out? How is this even possible? I mean, and now they got to figure out if he's immune from prosecution. Well, it's going to take them 2 months to figure out when they're going to have the case. Well, when Bush v. Gore was back in 2000, when another criminal, George W. Bush, became the president, and then they resolved that with the Supreme Court, and it only took them 3 days. Why do they need to take 2 months to figure this out? We need to put this guy in fucking prison. I mean, he's a criminal. I mean, we had 4 years of insanity, and now we got another 4 years of insanity because he just won't go away. God. Anyway, so I don't know. This is crazy that these people are just so insane. So anyway, here's some jokes. So I was playing golf one day, and I was playing golf, and I was playing with Moses and Jesus and this old guy. And there's a par 3, and there's a water feature in front of the green. So it's my turn to tee off. I tee off, and that ball goes where? Right in the water. Well, then now it's and Jesus goes, well, great shot, Thomas. I'm like, well, thanks a lot, Jesus. Now it's Moses' turn. Moses, he tees off. The ball is headed straight for the water. The water's part. The ball hits a rock and bounces about 2 feet away from the hole. Now it's Jesus' turn. Jesus tees off. He hits the ball. It's headed for the water. The ball bounces on top of the water and lands about a foot away from the hole. And Moses goes, great shot, Jesus. Now it's the old guy's turn. The old guy, he tees off, he hooks the ball real bad, it hits a tree, it bounces up into the air. An eagle flies out of the sky, grabs the ball, and drops it directly in the hole. And Jesus goes, "Great shot, Dad." I was working as a sheep rancher up in Montana, and they said, you're going to be out there on the range for like 6 months, and there's just you and the sheep, and I'm out there, and all the other ranchers, I see them fucking the sheep. I'm like, God, I'll never do that. Well, finally, I'm out there for like 5 months, and then I'm like, man, that sheep's looking pretty good. So I go up and I fuck this sheep. I pull my pants out and fuck the sheep. And then I get back I go into the chow hall, and I walk into the chow hall, and all the other ranchers, they point at me and laughing. I'm like, what do you mean? You guys do it all the time. And they go, yeah, but you picked the ugliest one. I work at Home Depot. I set up people for air conditioner appointments so we can go ahead and sell them an air conditioner. And the other day I had this guy comes in. I like helping the people out while I'm in Home Depot. So this guy comes in and he goes, he asked me about the toilet. And he goes, is it this 3-inch washer, that fits in here? Or is it the 2-inch washer? I go, well, actually what you need to do is bring the toilet in and then we'll measure it. And he goes, well, if I bring the toilet in, I'll be wearing it around your head. Anyway, I've been playing golf a little bit with over at Top Golf. They got these gigantic holes, because when I play golf, I hit the ball one way, it goes the other way, and then I'm spending all my time looking for the ball. It just sucks. Well, with Top Golf, these gigantic holes, even an idiot can hit these things, and it's so much fun. I think that's about it. I don't really know. Oh, I got one other thing I want to talk about. Does anybody here believe, I know this is I'm late dating myself, but does anyone here believe the official story of 9/11? Does anybody believe this? I mean, here you had these planes that flew into these towers, and then they came down at the rate of free fall into the direction of their own footprint. There's nothing left. There's just complete demolition. And if you hit a stack of Legos and you hit it with a stick, it's not going to fall straight down. It's going to fall over. And they put this bullshit out on us to believe that this comes back from George Bush. I forgot to bring that in. With George Bush, the fucking criminal, that he's reading a book upside down while the planes are flying into the World Trade Center, and then he spends 4 minutes wondering what the fuck to do. I mean, George, you know that was going to happen. How could you not know? And then they got Rudy Giuliani. I'm finally glad they're going to get that motherfucker. He was in on it. I know he was in on it because he was wandering around on the streets of New York when he should have been in his emergency building. Oh, the one that fell down. It was building number 7. This building came down at 5:20 in the afternoon. The BBC, though, reported it falling down at 5 p.m. And they're doing the report. They're shooting, and they're talking about how this other third building fell in New York, and they got the building in the background. I mean, they missed their cues on getting this whole set going, and we believe all this stuff. It's just crazy to me. Anyway, I think that's about it. Thank you.
All right, give another round of applause for Thomas Costanzo. Yes, Costanzo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming up again, brother. We're going to keep it moving because the time is moving along. Thank you so much. Thank you, Demi, for coming through. Hope to see you again.
I'll be around.
All right, brother. We're going to move this along here. Let's see who we got here.